Okay, welcome to Salmon Man episode 2 of the tutorial. Today we're going to be going into the route selection and going over the route that I use, kind of general principles of how to choose a route that works for you, and then going into the actual details of the exact routes and skips that I use to get that 2:21 time. Let's dive in. Okay, already went over basic movement in the last video, so we're gonna skip all that and we're gonna just talk about the skips. It starts off vanilla for the first part, and there's one little like pogo kind of towards the beginning. We'll just move into it. So here I just want to have clean, fast movement. Go for the edges of the rocks like I mentioned last time. Get the back of this, get the back of this, get the back of this. Ping sideways here, and then double off the rock and reach here. You can reach that. Ideally you don't ping off like I did, but that's the first skip right here. I'll go back to it. The first skip, or it's a small skip, so I don't know if I'd call it a full skip, but it's after we're in flow here, we kind of ping here, keep momentum, double tap, and then reach for this. This is reaching with my backhand. If you actually, the rock extends pretty far, you can kind of see the shadow underneath the water, so you don't actually have to make it here. You can be like here and it'll still have grip. Or even like here still has grip. You can go pretty far, and if you miss a little bit, just do a couple of swings to get back on here. Then you kind of go across here. I'll go back so I can do it in momentum, in speed, because it's way easier when I do it in flow, because I've done it just so many times. It's muscle memory at this point. Okay, so I have momentum, boom, boom, reach, and then you kind of double ping here, ping pong back and forth, 1, 2. Sometimes it'll catch here weirdly, which I don't know why, but I just do 1, 2, over, and then, oh, close. Let me try that again. Let me try that with momentum. Okay. So we're back here. Okay, this is the next skip coming up ahead. We skip the main route and we go along the side path here. This isn't one of the major skips, but I would call this a minor skip. It's like using the earth section. I'll do it first and then I'll explain it. Okay, that's the skip. That's the skip. I'm sorry if my screen came up. But basically, you're going from the edge of that. I kind of messed up this because I wasn't in flow and I did it the wrong side. But you're basically just jumping from that base platform over here. You're kind of doing 1 touch, 2 touch to fling across to here, 1 touch to kind of pop you up in the center. And then after that, you're going to try to hit this earth section to fling you over to this earth section, and use the side of it, kind of press along the side of it like this to kind of boost you up, if that makes sense. And it doesn't have to be the flat of the paddle, it can be the side, it doesn't matter. So it'd be looking like something like this, fling across, push off, and it helps when you have momentum kind of pushing you in. Like we mentioned last time, if it's your momentum's kind of pushing you this way, then it'll be easier to do that sideways press. So I'll do that again and then do the next section. I kind of do a skip here, it's not like major or anything. I'll go back and do this section again with a little bit more flow, hopefully. So it's like boom, boom, and then I hit this rock, and then I kind of do like a wall ride here for some amount, and then get over to smacking the top of these barrels. And then here comes the next skip. This is the first major skip that I think is a huge time save. The other ones are minor time saves. They save you like 5 to 10 seconds or less. The first one saves you like a second. This one in here saves you maybe like 5 seconds. This one, which I call ship skip, saves a lot of time. This is from the demo days when we were trying to cut from like a 1 minute down to like a 30-second time. And now I think you want to really target getting this first section done in 30 seconds if you can manage it. I think it's very doable. 35 is fine too. But the end of the first section, the pirate section, ends here after ship skip, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. Okay, I'll just ride this back a little bit, hopefully get a little bit of flow. So you're coming down on the barrels, and then you ping over to this railing, up and off here. Does that make sense? Did you see that? Did you catch that? It's pretty, let me get away from the edge, away from the walls. I'll do that again. It's easier in flow, but you're going from the barrels going from the barrels to the railing, and then you're going from the railing to here, somewhere in the middle, it doesn't matter exactly where. You're flinging up and off to the right, or to the left, towards the pole, and you're getting some momentum towards the pole, and then doing a wall push off the pole to gain even more height and fling you back towards the rock section. It may take a few times to get the feel of it, but it looks something like this. And then depending on, well, I kind of overshot there, so there are recoveries, but it's easier in flow for me. A lot of these things may be a little rough without flow, but it's about boom, up, and then kind of push off it. You just kind of push off it a little up and a little to the right, because you don't actually have to get that much more height. Once you're on here, you just kind of follow these rocks, and then you're going to go through the water to the right here. It's just faster with the current route I have. That's kind of the route. There is another route to the left for lava mode where you don't touch the water, but it's slower. At least the one I have currently. There might be a faster route that way, but for now I'm going to show you the route that I actually use, which is up here, up here, up here, with a little bit more momentum ideally, and then I do a double tap on that rock and kind of swing on the back side of this rock, and I'm just trying to get myself to get pushed towards the big wall over here, swimming and hitting all the edges that I possibly can. Okay? I'm not an expert at how the swimming mechanics work in this game, but I kind of just swim and pray, and then I'm trying to hook any of the edges along this rock railing to kind of fling like a J hook this way in this what is this, counterclockwise motion to try to get myself towards this edge here. Once I get on this edge, I'm just gonna kind of come up here. I maybe have a little bit of speed, so a lot of times I have a little bit of speed when I'm coming in here because I'm coming in hot, because I'm like, I just got out, swim, 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 and then before this big wall you actually want to cut your momentum. Because if you have too much momentum coming towards this slick rock wall, you're going to bounce off of it, and it's going to ping you off the wall, right? Even if you do like a pretty good job here, it's a lot of times it's very difficult to go up this wall very effectively without reversing your momentum and getting too close to the wall, where you have to kind of, if your body gets really close to the wall, it's really hard to stay on the wall. Whereas if it's a little bit farther away, it's easier, if that makes sense. So I want to keep a little distance from the wall. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll go here, I'll cut my momentum by putting the paddle on the ground pretty close. So I'll kind of show you what it looks like. And then kind of the second major obstacle is this wall. I have a fast way of doing it. Even if you do it a slow way, it's fine. But kind of my tech is what I like to call almost J-hooking. It's like an actual paddling technique where basically you're kind of coming down and flicking out like this. It's like a J hook when you're paddling in the water. So a lot of people paddle like this and then hook out to the right. That's what an actual J hook is in real life. It's kind of a similar thing where you kind of do this and then hook out from here. So I'll show you what it looks like. And all the ones I'm going to use, I'm not going to use all of these because it would be slow to do that. I'm going to hit this one. I'm going to hit that one. I'm going to hit that one. So the 3 straight vertical, a small hop to the left here, and then straight up and to the right. So I'm going to skip about every other as much as I can. So it should look something like this. And then jump off. Okay, I need to stop myself so I didn't blow past it too much. But what I'm doing here is I'm kind of taking the edge of the paddle. So there's the rod part of the paddle that has a certain hitbox, which I guess I neglected to cover in the paddle section. There's a rod hitbox and there's a paddle hitbox. And what you want to do is you want to hook like the gap, like the paddle hitbox has like a rectangle. You want to hook the corner of it on, I'll go ahead and fall down a little bit. You want to hook it here on the wall. I want to hook like below it on that corner, which you can't do for like too long, but you do that. Yeah, like kind of like here. You see the bottom of the paddle? I'm hooked on the bottom part. And then I kind of pull down and flick over the top towards the next part. So like that's kind of what happens down here is I'm like in this state. I kind of bend my legs a little, blick and reach, and then remember reach with the back. And if you fail, that's fine. You just do it again, but you want to kind of flick. The reason you want to use this bottom is because then you can kind of pull yourself back towards the wall at the end of the motion. That's what the end of the J hook is. Boom, boom. And if you keep momentum, it'll be easier to get all the way up there. But let's try it again. Boom, boom. Yeah, it'll be way easier if you keep momentum. And then kind of another J-hook section there. And that's the big wall. That's how I attack the big wall. It is difficult. Yes, it is difficult. So if you need to just do the basic route and just kind of take your time, you're not going to lose that much time. It's not that big of a deal. It's like just boom, boom, you know. You can kind of do this. You can do this pretty fast and efficiently too. If you get good at it or find a method, you know. Just a thing to remember here that's really helpful for the wall is backhand to reach. You see, like I would not have reached that unless I reached with my backhand. Backhand to reach. Okay. Next, I kind of like, as I'm coming up over the top, a lot of times I'm flying with a lot of momentum. I fly over and kind of just hold like this. And then now this comes probably, in my opinion, one of the harder skips, just because the distance is far and the surfaces are ugly. So this is a rock, a floating rock. This is where we're jumping to. We're jumping from the top of this pole to that rock. And then off that rock, we're going to wall climb up here to the wooden section up there. We're just going to kind of go up this way and skip. This is like a huge skip, saves so much time. This is what makes this right side route viable. In my opinion, you need some way to basically skip all the moving to the left. There's another route where you could kind of go through the cave section, but we're not going to discuss that because I think that's like a guaranteed slower. So this one is a far jump, so I kind of set this up a little bit sometimes, and then I'm going to kind of get back and then power, and I'm going to kind of ping off of it once to kind of get secure on this rock, and then I'm going to attack this wall, and when I get to the wall, I want to hit like kind of face sideways and do wall presses. I'll kind of go over more what that looks like in a different wall climb section where it's easier to kind of reset. This is one of the harder skips though. So I'm going to do this, fling, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm up. That makes sense. It's hard. It is hard. But it's not too complicated. It's just from that wooden pole over to this rock, and then you're going to kind of wall climb. You want a lot of momentum into the wall, and then 3 like light pats where you have mostly vertical motion with your paddle and not a whole lot of left to right motion. Because if you have a lot of left to right motion, you'll ping off the wall. And you want to stay close to the wall. That's kind of your idea with wall climbing, wall riding. You want to stay close to the wall and kind of just press off of it like that to kind of climb up it. Okay? So once you're up here, you kind of just take the basic route for a little bit. There may be some fast way where you can kind of use some angle to fling up there. I don't think it's worth it trying to time that and adding inconsistency to the run. So I just kind of do this, single pings all the way up. Now we have just a little optimization. We're going to go over the last mallet and do a little skip so we don't have to do this left section. But all you do is just like kind of keep your momentum as much as you can. Try to pass everything cleanly, and then you go up here on top of the paddle, and then you fling off and reach with your backhand to make sure you make it. And there you've completed the second section, the waterfall section. There are other routes, but they all kind of funnel through that end section, in my opinion, any of the ones that are like decent. There was at one point a route. I'll show you it briefly because I think it's fun and I discovered it and I haven't seen anyone else use it. And I would like to see somebody else use it because I think it's awesome. It's a wicked, wicked skip. So one of the other routes I used to take, I think I mentioned in the last video, it was basically I would take this left route, go up here, cross this bridge, vanilla route, and then I would cut through where that bush is right there, come out on this side. I don't know how to do, the bush is there now to kind of block that. There may be some way where you can do like a wall cling to get up and around the outside onto these rocks. But I haven't really played around with that much because I feel like this is fairly fast and I can get a lot more, less, it skips this last skip, which is a little bit time reliant. You have to wait like it's a dead time in your run, but I think it's really cool. So I'll just show it to you. So if you end up somewhere over here, or you want to do some left route because the wall is hard or slow, or this rock skip is hard and slow, here's an alternate route for you. So you get over here somehow, whether that be like climbing up the edge, whatever you need to do to get up here. And then you are going to go across to this rock, just what kind of wall pinging across off these big wooden poles. And then you're going to go to the top of this rock here. So this, because you're touching water, isn't going to be viable in the lava section. But then you're going to fling up, sling yourself off the right rock, and then sling yourself off the left rock to try to get up. So it's like this, and you'll kind of drift over to here. Okay, now you're here. You could go this basic route, or hear me out. This is the fun part. This is the cool part. We do what I call bat bonk. Okay, so first we're just gonna pogo off this to get over and back up here. We're gonna kind of do that. Ooh, don't fail. There it is. Normally it's a little bit chiller than that, but what you can do is if you're in this location, you can get to there directly using the bats. And there's this thing called bat bonk that I discovered. It is a little bit timing reliant, but it's fun. You see that high bat that's normally by itself? When it crosses that crack right there, that it just crossed. When it crosses that crack, that's your cue for when to start. It cycles about every 15 seconds, so if you miss your cycle, you have to wait 15 seconds, which is a bit annoying. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ping, and then I'm gonna ping off the right. So let's see if I got it. And then reach, Boom, there it is. That's the tech for bat bonk. It's double reach. You're gonna have to reach for the bat, you're gonna ping off of it, keep momentum, and then reach for the end. That's, I really like that skip. It's not really practical or useful, I think. It's because it's a little bit timing reliant. Now, if you get like a really good cycle, it's probably faster than this route, but it's a little bit less consistent. Okay, but that is the water section. Those are the main routes that I know of. When you're choosing a route, this is a great place to experiment with routes. When you're choosing a route, you want to choose something that you can do consistently, especially because the next section can be inconsistent depending on what route you go for. But you want to choose something that you can do consistently, or at least consistently enough where you feel like you're making progress and not just like instantly killing your run every time and like doing a 1 in 10. You want something that can get you reliably to the end game, so you can actually, push your time forward. Now, if you're pushing for a really, really tight time, you can go for something that's less consistent, but like just for starters, to get like a sub 5 or a sub 3, you don't need to go for something super inconsistent. So based on where you're at, in terms of your mechanics, kind of choose a route differently. So my route for the lava, I didn't go over this, but if you see the bridge down there, you just take the bridge and take the vanilla route all the way up to the wall, and then the wall up and over. Everything from the back half is the same for lava. So what that means is that you don't need to do this little swim maneuver. Like, there's enough time that like you can get a 245 without doing that swim and just doing the vanilla route. So that means in my opinion, that means there must be something using this bridge to get up and over and do this back half route with a bat bonk again. That seems like there must be some kind of route there. Okay, now we're gonna move on to the pipe section, the lava section. This is I think this is the biggest time save potential in the game. This next skip that I'm gonna try to show you. It is also the least consistent. So if you don't hit it or don't want to go for it, because it really only saves you 20 seconds, which is good. But if it doesn't matter, like a lot of times you might just get a better run if you have a good run coming into here and you don't want to gamble. Just take the vanilla route. Okay, the vanilla route is 20 seconds long, so it's not that long. But I'm gonna attempt to show you the skip. This is a pipe surface, right? So it acts a little bit weird with your paddle. What we're gonna try to do is we're gonna try to clip through the pipe to get a big launch across the lava. And I'll kind of talk about timing. There's like down in the pipe here, you can kind of see there's like a line, and you want to kind of hit your paddle in a clockwise motion through that line, and it should launch you really hard. So what I do is I kind of just do a bunch of clockwise turns and spam clockwise turns and pray. Because I don't know how to make it consistent. Maybe some other people do, but it acts a little bit weird with the paddle. It's a little bit glitchy, but if I get it right, it launches me all the way across and I skip the entire section. So I'll give it a go. What I like to do is a lot of times I'm coming with speed, and so I kind of come across, tap. Oh, hold on. I'll come in with a little bit of speed from over here. I'll kind of tap this section if needed, and then swing here. Yeah, so that's the line. You can kind of see the line between the pipe and the lip that you're trying to hit, and it did a weird launch, but this is kind of it. This is close. It's not quite enough, but I can use this. Like in a real run, I would use this because resetting is a lot longer, and now I've saved, I don't know, 10 seconds, because it still took me 10 seconds to maybe get from there, and it wasn't that fast. But that's kind of the idea behind the pipe launch, is you want to hit that line in between and you get a big launch. Ideally, you'll like go so fast and so high you'll hit the ceiling and end up like right there. I'll try it again a few more times to kind of get a feel for it, so you can kind of look and see. But this, for sure, when you're starting out, you don't need to go for it. It saves you 20 seconds if you get it right. If you miss, though, then you lose like 10 seconds because then you have to die in the lava. Like if I miss, like I don't know if I'll miss, but yeah, this is probably a miss. So it like kind of will swirl me around, or maybe something will be different, and then it'll launch me here, and then I'll fall into the lava, and now I've lost 15 seconds. And so I would have been faster to just go straight on, right? So if you're going for like a top time, I think it's worth it to go for it. But if you're not, like just skip this, because it's very inconsistent, where like it'll fling me different directions, different places. But off the respawn, I like to tap here, and then, oh, come on. There it is. That's a good launch. That's like basically a perfect launch. So yeah, that's the lava section. I'll show you just the basic backup route. It's just vanilla route. There's nothing special here. So if you didn't do the skip, you kind of just keep your momentum. You're kind of limited on time here, so you kind of want to keep the similar principles as before, but there's really not a whole lot of time save or gain to happen here. Here you want to reach if you can, and if you miss like I do, because I don't do that route very much, that's fine. You just reset. But ideally, you know, if you're not going to do it, you'll get better at this section. But I don't really play this section very much, so I'm not very good at it. And you can use these two things here for kind of timing, but realistically, you can basically always reach and then finish out strong here. But my recommendation is if you're going for like a sub 3 time, or like a really like a high top 3 kind of time, go for the pipe skip. Otherwise, you probably don't need to, unless you can find a way to get consistent. But yeah, I'm gonna try it one more time. See, because this is a very hard skip to do. This is definitely the hardest skip in the game because it's very inconsistent. Okay, not quite. Oh, nope. Nope. Okay, so I just lost a bunch of time. That's great. But let's try it again. Nope. Okay, I got a light one that I could probably save, but I'm gonna try to get a good one again. Okay, yeah, this is a pretty good one. If I can save it, yeah, that's a good one. I missed it, but you can typically save those if they're off to the left. You'd rather be off to the right, though. Or sorry, you'd rather be off to the left than to the right. So I was off to the right there. Oh, I'm kind of stuck here, so I pinged myself out on accident. I don't really know how a lot of the mechanics work, but yeah, this is kind of the direction I want to go most of the time, just a little bit higher. This is savable, but I'm not going to save it. Again, you can kind of just... Anytime you get an actual launch, you typically want to save it, because it's like faster to just finish wherever you're at. If you didn't get a perfect launch, you're kind of probably already like out of whatever you need for your perfect run. But a lot of times you don't need a perfect... you don't need a perfect launch to get a sub 230. You don't even need a launch at all for a 230, I don't think. You can probably get a 230 without a launch. So it's really not a huge limiting factor. It's just for like elite level times that you'd want to hit this launch. But I just kind of do a bunch of tight clockwise circles. I kind of start with my right hand high and big and clockwise around. That's what I like to do. Oh, come on. Let's see if I can hit one more time. Nah. Okay. Give it 1 or 2 more goes, and then I'll just do the vanilla route as backup. Okay. Nope. One more time. Oh, I'm going backwards now. I'm going too late, I think. Oh. Oh. Nope. I'm actually probably just going to do this. I'll probably cut most of this until I get a good one. But you can see it's going to take me a long time to actually get a good run. And a lot of times that's what kills a run or makes it, you know. Like a cracked run will be one that just hits first try. And then a not so cracked run will be one that misses, you know. A lot of times if I... Oh, okay. There's one. I don't really know how that worked or interacted, but that's a skip. You're just trying to do anything you can to glitch your paddle through that pipe and make it launch you in this direction. A lot of times I think for my typical launch, I'll end up like kind of on these rocks and then kind of ping over. If I miss, going in this section over here is very hard to recover. I think it's possible, but I would just die and reset. And either gamble for another launch or just do the vanilla and move on. But that's the hardest skip. That's a pipe launch. And now we'll get into the final section, the toxic section. This is the same material where it's like a pipe you can slide. I actually didn't know that until recently, because I normally hit my way along the bottom of it, and you can still do that. What is that? Oh, it's just another "you shall not pass" sign. Okay. History, that's pretty cool. There was a runner way back in the demo that had like a pretty cool gap that they've hit, that they patched with a "you shall not pass" sign. Okay. Anyways, so once you come down this pipe, you kind of come and you're gonna go towards this wall in the back pillar here. That's the next thing for the route. You come to this back wall, and then kind of similar to when I'm going against a rock wall, I want to cut my momentum, because if I'm coming too hard into this wall, I'm gonna get very close to it. It's gonna be hard for me to time when I want to do my thing. Like I can kind of stick on it for a second if I have a lot of momentum, right? But it's not gonna be very helpful for me because I'm gonna be really close to the wall, and I want to not be close to the wall for this next skip. I'm gonna do a triple wall climb and then ping over. That's my goal, okay? So I'm gonna come in with hot speed, pause, get where I can get angled to the wall, and I wanna kind of move angled. So I wanna move in this direction and get my momentum going in this direction. So I'm still going towards the wall, but I'm also able to use the wall to kind of keep me going up into the left. So that's whenever I'm doing like a triple wall climb, like when I'm trying to stay close to a wall, I'm gonna set up my angle kind of like this direction, so I'm kind of next to the wall and using it, if that makes sense. So I'll come in hot and then set up, and then 1, 2, 3, ping, ping, normal wall jump mechanics, and get up to here. Yeah, I think that's fairly self-explanatory. I'll do it one more time just for you to look at it. But the key thing is that I want, whenever I'm doing like kind of huge wall climbs like this is the same surface as the earth or the wood. It's like it's a favorable surface. So you just kind of go 1, 2, 3, and then you should have enough reach to kind of ping pong back and forth, and then get onto this triple platform. Then you're gonna take the vanilla route, go beach ball. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Beach ball. I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okay, you go beach ball, and then end up here. Okay, this one is another hard skip. It's a similar principle to the wall ride, where you want to not have too much momentum in the wall, and you're gonna kind of do like a rub mechanic where you want like to just like come in and not push too hard off the wall, but get you a lot of upward velocity with the wall, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna ping forward, and I'm gonna do a double tap on this wall to go up this pillar. So this is the next part of the route, is going. I guess I'll just go back here so you can see it a little bit better and get myself centered a little bit. Okay, so I'm attacking this pillar. I'm gonna go all the way up it, up to that pipe. I'm gonna ping off the side wall onto this curved pipe, get into that little slot, and then there'll be another skip in that slot that I call Bing Bang Boom, that I just made up like right now. So, but this first part is tricky. It's kind of another grippy wall section where I have to come up here all the way to that pipe. That's my goal. So what it looks like is I'm gonna get all the way on this corner as much as I can. I'm gonna kind of fling myself towards the wall, but then try to hit the first hit. I missed that a little bit. Try to get the first hit before I get too close to my body, too close to the wall. It's like here, 1, 2, off that side, and then reach. And then for this one, I just need a single. So 1, and I like to use the side of it because it pushes me less away from the wall. Then it's gonna be a fling forward off the back of this to this pillar, up here, and then kind of ping off the side to get onto this pillar. All of that can be done with speed. You don't have to pause like I was pausing. You can just do that all in a fluid motion, and hopefully I'll be able to show you a run at the end of this video that kind of ties it all together. But now I'm here in this gap that I talked about when I was down there, and I'm gonna do Bing Bang Boom. I'm gonna pop off this pillar to the right that you see. I'm gonna pop off this left pillar that should fling me backwards towards that wall. I guess I can sit on this. This pillar, the pillar right above me, and towards that wall, and I'm gonna ping off the wall back towards over where I am right now. Okay. So the vanilla route would be going left. We're not doing that. We're going to do this. Ready? This is the Bing Bang Boom. And on this first one, I kind of want a light touch, kind of similar to like the wall rubs. I don't want to get too close. I don't want to ping off it too hard. It's just like a Bing Bang Boom. So the bing is small, the bang and the boom are big, and you kind of get up here. Then you vanilla route, fling yourself across. You can go on either side of this pipe. Doesn't really matter. Same thing, when I'm about to do a wall climb, I want to cut my momentum so I'm not bouncing off the wall because I'm too close to it. I want to kind of get the wall when it's far away, do a double hit here to get on top. And then we're going to go over to this pipe. We're going to get here. Another thing about these pipes, I don't think I mentioned the pipes at all in my first video. These lips are real. You can use these lips. So we're going to use these lips. And what we're going to do is we're going to go up this, hold onto that lip. We're going to ping up off the pipe, hit the wall, and land on that pillar, and then reverse and finish. So we're pretty close to the finish here, pretty close to the end of the route. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a good amount of speed, and then fling up to this ledge. Oh, ideally. Fling up to this ledge, and then fling up to this ledge, and then pop sideways, wall hit, and then end up here on top of this pillar. If you miss, like if you hit your head like I did and end up in that gap here, there's a recovery that's hard. You can do it, which I'll show in a second, but then you just kind of reverse here onto the diving board and then finish normally, right? So if we come down here, like I missed, but I can kind of get my, ooh, nope, that's not good. Okay. If I can kind of get my thing in here and I save it here, remember the backhand is your in and out. So you kind of want to pop up, pull the backhand back to retract your paddle, and then re-extend your paddle. So it's kind of like up, retract, oh, it's hard. Oh, I just missed it. But that's the general idea of that recovery is you kind of want to unsheath, resheath, kind of reach kind of thing. So like you kind of pull the paddle out, back and up. I'll go ahead and just get back up there because it shouldn't take that long. This whole section, this toxic section, should take like a minute if you do it perfectly. Anything under like 2 minutes is fine though. Let me set this up. 1, 2, 3, wall, 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 wall. And then just back and forth until you get up here, and then just normal vanilla route. 1, 2, reach. 1, 1, and then boom, boom, boom. And you can take off the little like setup hops that I'm doing if you want. Okay. Oh, come on. So I didn't cut momentum enough there, and that's why I kind of pinged off of it. Oh my, there it is. And then reverse onto the diving board. And then you just ride these out to the finish. And the final thing is the finish line. What you want to do is you want to get the only time you use your body, you want to immediately, as soon as you cross this line, you want to land your body as soon as you can on the surface because that's what stops time. I didn't realize that until recently, so a lot of times on my runs, I'd be like ping pong here, and then I'd accidentally hit my bottom on the stairs, and that's when it'd stop. Or it'd stop when I hit the fishing hook. But the timer stops when you touch, I think it's this blue platform. I'm not sure if it works on the hexes. I've never tried it. But just like right here, and it'll stop every time. Yeah, so that's the route. That's the route. Now, hopefully, I'm going to try to hit the whole thing. And I'll insert that as a clip here at the end as kind of like an example of the whole route. Okay. Let me go ahead and finish, I guess. Hit this so you see my lovely 32-minute time. And we'll just run it again, and hopefully it should be able to string it all together. You'll see it all in flow, in motion, what I'm going for, what my recoveries are. If I fail things, I very well may fail things. I'm normally a meta guy, so it's a little bit different, like lag timing wise. Another thing I didn't mention is that a lot of times there's like heavy lag when you load certain zones. So I know in meta, there's at the end of pirate skip, like the ship skip, I delay when I'm actually hitting my paddle down because that's when the loading of all that next waterfall region happens. And so it lags. So if I go too early, then I'll miss the rock. And you'll kind of see based on your system and your setup if the lag's bad for you when it happens. But I call that lag torch. So I always remember to pause and then follow through and continue. So let's hit it. Let's see how I do. Okay. And go. little slow there. That's fine. Ultimately, it all comes down to lava skip. Okay. Good, good, good. Oh, I missed. Oh, come on. Bad flow. So normally I'd reset this, but I'm not going to. There's the lag torch. It wasn't too bad of lag. Oh my. Okay, hook. Hook, hook. And you can get that faster if you're good. But I was not right now. Yep, good. Oh, come on. Okay. This is one of the hard ones for me because it's the newest addition. No! Oh, okay. So I definitely reset here. So I was 137 to get in the second section with a couple of mistakes. That's fine. Okay. Come on, reach. Okay. Good. In a lava section, we're going for the skip. Oh, wrong way. Yes! Oh, this is good. This is a hot run. This is a good one. This actually might be B. Okay, we're gonna reset. And kind of make that adjustment for yourself. Boom. Come on, reach. Didn't reach with the back arm. Come on. Oh, no, come on. It's fast. Boom, 234. And that's how it's done. That's how it's done. I got really good, really fortunate skips there. And yeah, took second on the leaderboard with Steam. We'll take that. But that's kind of a guide tutorial for how I attack Salmon Man. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope that you enjoyed this little mini series. If you have any questions about any of this, any questions of the mechanics, how I'm doing anything, just let me know in the comments. Just type something in there. I can try to answer more questions either in there or Discord or wherever. But I love this game, and I'd love to see more people speedrunning it, and like really hitting some sick times, hitting some sick routes. If you do hit a route that's pretty sick and get like a PB, post like a video in the Discord. I think it'll be really cool. I'd love to see it. I'll watch it. Yeah, that's basically it. That's all from me. God bless you, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.